In game dev, destruction is a luxury. Most indie devs just delete the object and play a sound effect, but today we're gonna fix that. I'm gonna show you 2 ways to break your art in pixel lab: the obvious way and the smart way. So here we are in a sprite and we have a vase, pretty nice vase. And the first thing you would think to destroy it, or to damage it, would be to go to edit image, right? And we got a couple options. We got the normal edit image and the pro version. The pro version is more expensive. It uses 40 generations per edit, and the normal one uses 1 generation per edit, of course. So let's try the normal one. So here we have the instruction, which is basically you tell the model what you want to happen to the image. Here I'm just gonna prompt something like make the vase look damaged with cracks. Then we have the guidance weight, which is how much you want the model to basically listen to your prompt. And then we have the target palette, which for this example, I will use current image because we already have a small palette of the vase, right? But you can use a color palette or you can use none and just have the AI do its thing. And then we have the output method, which of course you can put it in a new frame, new layer, etc. Here we have other options like use selection tool to select painting area. So that would be if the image is too big, if your resolution is too big, you can just select an area with the limitations of the size that the model can handle. And then we of course have the removed background, which we'll use since we don't have a background. And there you go. We got a damaged vase, right? It's pretty nice. And then you can basically just go back and, I don't know, do it again, like generate it again, just to have another frame of the damaged vase. But then you're not getting all the consistency of it getting damaged, right? You're just getting randomly damaged vases with different cracks, different damage. And here, I'm gonna prompt it more cracked in pieces, right? And there we can already see a small limitation. It won't give you exactly what you ask for, right? It'll do its best to do, like I asked for it to be in pieces, but it didn't really break it apart, right? It just kept giving it more cracks and whatnot. So now let's switch to this wooden barrel, right? Let's go back to the edit image tool, the normal one, not the pro one. And now I'm just gonna prompt something like make the barrel be open, right? And that, as you can see, it does the job. It literally does it. Like it opened it up. It made a hole in it. Like we can see everything. But then if you ask for more complex things like make the barrel be damaged, visual damage, cracks and whatnot, and we try that, and now you see it just added a bit of damage. It didn't really do exactly what we really wanted, right? And then I can even add more prompting, like in pieces, and you'll see it doesn't do it. Like it's just hard. Look, it just made another barrel basically. So the edit image tool is recommended for some stuff, but when it starts getting hard for it, you gotta switch. So let's try the edit image pro. So in this one, we have to set the image. It doesn't take it automatically. So you just gotta click set image. And then I'll just prompt it, make the barrel look more damaged. And there we go. I'll just click generate and you can see it is damaged, It already did the job much better than the normal edit image tool. But here you can see like some of the details are not exactly right. Like this little metal part, it was raised. Like there was no gap between it. Here again, let's try the normal edit image tool with our statue. I'll prompt something like make the statue have cracks and visual damage on the clothing. And I'll just click generate. And here, look, it got kind of confused because it saw something that resembled cracks, I guess, and it didn't really do it. So let's try the edit image pro. I'll prompt the same thing, click generate, and there we have something. Now it's cracked, you know? So the Edit Image Pro tool is much stronger. Like it takes care of your prompts much better if it's something complex, like something being broken, you know? Now I'll do make it more damaged and crumbling. Let's try that. And there you have it, you know? That's pretty cool. So you have like 2 stages of destruction, right? But like I said, the Edit Image Pro tool, it's more expensive than the normal one. The tool, as you can see over there, it says this tool costs 40 generations and edits a single image, right? And I'll try one more. I'll put cut in half just so we can see how much more we can destroy. You see? That's pretty cool. Like it does a really nice job, that's for sure. But it does cost 40 generations. So how would I go about this if I want to have more frames and yet destroy the whole thing? So that would be animate with text. You would think animate with text would only be used just for animation, right? I mean, yes, but we can do the following. We can animate it being broken and destroyed, and then we can just pick the frames that we like and have a damaged state, another damaged state, and then maybe even an animation of it crumbling down or exploding or whatever, right? So that's the goal with this. So here we go to animate with text pro, and now we have to set the reference image, right? So we have this reference image, and then we have the action description, which is basically what you want the animation to be. I'll prompt the vase damages with cracks and breaks into pieces, and I'll click generate. And let's see, here we have cracks, boom, boom, boom. Oh, more cracks, more damage, and crumbled. And there we have 16 different frames we can choose from. So you can delete frames, you can keep any frame you like, you can edit the frames, you know? You don't have to keep them all. You don't have to make it a super long animation. But here, you can just, you know, I'll delete 1 or 2. I'll keep the ones I like. You can delete the ones that look too much alike. And here, I'll just erase a little bit of the crumbles because I want these to be still like the damaged vase and not the crumbling like animation. And here, when it starts breaking into pieces, that's where I want it to animate, right? So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tag this just so I know that's where the animation starts. And for this, since we don't really have much of the crumbling, right? I'll do the following. We'll go out of the animate with text tool and we'll try the interpolate pro tool. So we can give it a start image and we can give it an ending image. I'll prompt the same thing. The vase damages with cracks and breaks into pieces. And I'll just click generate. And there you can see how it's actually just falling apart into pieces, which is perfect. I can of course delete some frames, you know, because there's a lot of things that are just like super detailed. And sometimes in pixel art, you want things to be snappy and quick, you know? So I'll just delete what I don't want. I'll keep, of course, what I want. As you can see, there's like 3 frames that are the same, basically. So yeah, I'll just clean it up. I'll see if it looks good. And here you can see like there's some floating pieces. So I'm just gonna move them around like manually. We don't really have to go back to prompting, you know? Like these are just some details that are much more worth it to do manually than trying to get the AI model to do it for you. All right, so now let's move on to a really important part, which is color palettes. So we have this really cool tool, which is called Reduce Colors. So before I talk about the tool, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a small palette with the colors that I have in this vase. And then after I'm done with that, I'm gonna go to Reduce Colors. I'm gonna click Use Palette. I'm gonna enable Process All Frames. I'm gonna do it in the current layer and I'm gonna hit Quantize. And now what that's gonna do is gonna keep all the sprites, all of the frames in our single color palette. Now it looks super clean. Look at that, beautiful. The last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just duplicate that last frame I'm gonna remove all the dust, and I'm gonna make that last frame just be static like that, you know? And here you go. We have our damaged base with all the hits. Damage, 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 animation. So let's do the same thing with our wooden barrel. We'll go to animate, animate with text, set the reference image, describe what you want to happen. So the barrel gets damaged with cracks and then breaks and turns into crumbles. Oh, and yeah, I didn't mention this, but you can choose the camera view and the direction, but I'll just choose a camera view here. I'll do low top down, but the model is pretty smart, so it doesn't really matter that much unless you're doing something really specific, of course. And let's see, there we have damage. We have a damaged barrel and it breaking or crumbling. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So let's try reduce colors. I'll do specify colors this time. So that means you can just reduce from all the colors that are in all of those sprites, you can reduce it to a certain amount and it'll keep like the main idea with less details, right? So I'll lower it to something like 9. I'll do current layer and let's see. And here, well, it did a pretty nice job. It kept it clean. So I'm just gonna fix a couple of the details because I think I might have reduced too much in some spots. As you can see, it kind of gave a little bit of the wood color to the highlights. So I'm just gonna fix that. And again, this is a reminder to not fully rely on the AI model, but to do some manual fixes yourself. I'm just gonna delete some of the crumble here, just so I can leave it for later, right? For the more advanced frames. Here I'm just gonna delete this part because it didn't really make much sense to me. And there I'll just tag the animation again. And here we have a fully destructible barrel. And of course, we don't really have to use all the frames that we get. Because again, we get 16 frames and we're like, oh, that's cool. But in all honesty, in a lot of pixel art games, we use much less, right? It's more of a matter of if you're getting the message across with as least frames as possible, right? So here I'm just going to use 3 damage frames, right? Boom, 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 and then it crumbles, right? Same thing with the vase. Like here we have a lot of damaged states, right? So we can reduce that for sure, right? And here you see, it makes more sense because it's a vase to have less hits, right? You know, it can also depend on how heavy your asset is, right? Or how heavy it intends to be or how strong it's supposed to be. But yeah, let's move on to the last guy, which is the statue, which is the bigger sprite, right? With bigger sprites, animate with text does less frames. So we were doing 64 by 64 and 32 by 32. Those sizes, any size below 64 by 64, it gives you 16 frames output. But if we go to 128 by 128, we end up with a limitation. We get 4 frames per animation. So that means we can only get 4 frames and then we can extend the animation again by setting the reference image to our last frame, right? But yeah, let's try our statue. I'm gonna prompt something like the statue gets damaged and cracks up. And no, yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that because we only get 4 frames. So this one's kind of high top down, and let's click generate. And look, there we have a pretty nice consistent damaged statue, right? So now we can go ahead and select our last frame as the reference image. Now we can change the prompt to something like the damaged statue starts crumbling into pieces. So I'll click generate and let's see. There we have it. You see, that's a pretty nice crumbling animation. So let's see. If we hit it, boom, 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 then it crumbles. And yeah, remember, it doesn't really have to be only crumbling. It can be explosions. It can be all types of stuff. So be creative and let us know what you're creating in our Discord channel or down in the comments. I hope you liked this video. I hope you found it useful, and I'll see you in the next one.